Okay, we are live. Hello. So if you are watching live, welcome. If you're watching the replay, please say hi, post your questions in the comments, and we'll respond to them as soon as we can. So welcome to the Hampers Live show, where you can get ideas to grow your eco-conscious business. And today I'm joined by Laurence Katz from Elemental Studio, and we are talking about the architecture of eco-design. So welcome, Laurence. So great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me today, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes, indeed. Happy New Year to everyone too. So Laurence is from Elemental Studio, which is a full-service architectural and design studio who work with architects and a number of other suppliers and offer a suite of environmentally responsible design and project management services. Every Elemental Studio design incorporates sustainability at every level. So we're really keen now to chat to Laurence and find out how it is that they do this. So first question, how do you begin the planning process for a new project?
So pretty straightforward. If I take an example, maybe a home office, which is the key topic at the moment for most of us, being stuck back at home. Getting to know my clients is really important to me. And I do that via normal meetings normally, and now Zoom, using a suite of questionnaires that I've sort of put together along the years, both on style as well as colors. And colors are really important to me and a very interesting topic. Once I have a better understanding of what client wants, we will work on the layout of the space. And typically, just to give a few tips for a home office and thinking of the environment and nature in context, having a view, being near a window is really important. Sort of seeing beyond your computer will make a huge difference to the way you feel. I did that in my office when the lockdown happened. I used to face a wall, which is terrible. Just sort of closes up your vision of the world, and making sure the door is in front of you. And, you know, I can go through this in a lot more detail, but that's really important to make you feel safe in your environment, make sure no little people can jump on you, or just, you know, making sure you see what's happening in your space. So once we have a layout, lighting is one of my key topics, and something I very much enjoy researching. And it makes a huge difference to the way you feel. Once you have layout and lighting, you have the structure for your space. We might need to call upon an electrician, a decorator, and those are the people who will trigger the more planning side of things. So once we've designed, we can then plan the project properly, mostly based on their timings and availability, so that as a team, we can make sure that everything comes on time when they need it. So looking at first fix electric, then decorating, making sure the paint colors are there, and then the light fittings, the desk, the chair, and so on and so forth. But planning is very important, and Excel is very much part of my daily routine. You may not expect that from a designer, but there's always an Excel spreadsheet open, whether it's a plan or a budget. It's there permanently on my desktop.
Okay, brilliant. Then how frequently do you review your plans and make changes? Because I imagine these are like really big projects and you've got so many different elements to them. Do you find you have to be quite adaptable?
Absolutely. So currently working on a 7-story house. There are many rooms to tackle, many spaces. There are different stages, they involve different partners, and the plan is almost a Gantt chart that evolves weekly, I would say, but at the moment, pretty much daily. COVID has had a major impact on the industry. We are so lucky that we can still work, which is fantastic, but there are stock issues, there are staff suddenly coming off the building site because there's a case, they need to isolate. So we constantly need to make sure that whoever comes before, whoever comes after that particular supplier is well aware of the timing, so that there's no time wasted, because there's nothing worse than getting someone on site and having to tell them, well, actually, we're not ready to prep the walls because we're still chasing the wall to put some lights in place. So it's changing constantly, hence the Excel love-hate relationship.
Really challenging. And when it comes to sort of different building structures, because I know you do commercial, you also do home and residential. So are you kind of informed and inspired by the existing structure? You know, does this kind of influence how you plan the design?
Absolutely. The style of the buildings that we work in is really important. And we either enhance this and acknowledge it if the client would like us to do this, or we don't. It's very much down to the client's preference. So we're currently working on a collaboration and a Regency style building, and the client is very keen to enhance those features as well as bring modern touches. So we are doing a bit of a mix between antique pieces as well as more modern type of furniture. So sort of creating an harmony between the style and the periods.
Yeah, that must be quite challenging. Yeah, because when you've got listed buildings and things like that, there's certain things you can't touch and other things
Absolutely.
that you can change.
Yes, there are many rules to follow. And we're well aware of those. You know, our partners are aware of them as well. You know, in a grade 2 listed building, you cannot touch the fabric of the building unless you have a consent. So we do seek, you know, specialist sort of support in those circumstances to make sure that we stick to the rules. That they are, you know, rather big consequences on damaging those beautiful buildings. But if you don't like the cornice of that particular building, you know, you can sort of somehow hide it if you want, or if there are, you know, features and patterns you don't like, you know, we can work around it.
Ways to work around that.
There always works. They're, you know, they're only solutions rather than problem, and that comes from a collaboration, whether that's within the studio as a team, but mainly with partners. And that's something that's very important to me. I've always thrived on, you know, working with people rather than, you know, against. It doesn't make sense. So, you know, if you have your team on board and have, you know, constant flow of communication and information, you can find better solutions. So whether that's the plumber, the electrician, the joiners are so important. And they have so much experience, and we draw on everyone's expertise and make them feel valued as well, because I think that's something really important to me and to the, you know, to my well-being, to the team's well-being, and to the flow of the project. Because if everyone gets on the site and isn't fighting, you know, things happen much faster and in harmony.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good collaboration, isn't it? And I know you've got a couple of my next questions. I mean, they kind of fit into one another. People wanted to contact you as a potential supplier, and also as people who wanted to contact you to help them on their own home or project. I know that you've got an offer as well. So how do people get in touch with you?
So the best way to get in touch and have a look at our work is to go to elementalstudio.co.uk. So studio is singular, not S, because that happens quite a lot. So elementalstudio.co.uk. At the bottom of the page, if you scroll down, there's a contact form. Your information will come straight to my inbox, which means that we can be in touch. With new projects, I normally spend half an hour trying to understand the requirements and what you're after. For this particular offer today, I'm happy to do an hour to make sure that you get better value and a little bit more. But I can only offer 10 spaces. So I'll do that on a first come, first serve basis and see, you know, which emails come first and stop at 10. And then obviously still offer the half an hour, but it might not be in as much depth as the offer.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I know I've got a lot of people who sort of like were asking questions on the LinkedIn post that I did, and ideas to kind of make their home more eco or sustainable, and different ideas around, you know, the home office and that as well. So I definitely, guys, sign up quick if you want to get your free consultation. Just lastly, quickly, what would you say is your top eco lifestyle or business tip?
So I think for me, whether that's business or personal, it's avoid throwing things away. You know, there's always life in a product. I used to do an upholstery class, which I absolutely loved. There's some examples of my work on the website. Amazing fabrics out there for furniture. But even if you have an office or a restaurant and you don't like the style of the furniture anymore, don't throw it away. Give it away to someone. Don't chuck it in a skip. There will, you know, someone's sort of rubbish can be someone else's treasure. And I think that's so important to make sure that each product has a greater longevity and we throw a little bit less.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Really a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for all your tips and insights. And I'm sure there'll be more questions and everything as well. So if you're watching the replay or live, just keep your questions coming. Both Laurence and I will get onto that afterwards and answer your questions. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day, everyone.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks to our viewers for watching as well. And we'll see you same time next week. Goodbye.
Bye.